What's going on YouTube? I haven't made a video in about 2 months, and today's title of the video is Projecting Fear. I'm day 7 into a fast. I'm actually about to stop because of projected fear, and I want to get into it. So obviously I got this job I'm around people all day, right? And the problem is people keep themselves at such an artificially low level, right? Like they are so susceptible to all the negative energy and their thoughts and everything into the world around them, where they're just at such a low state that if you even vibrate a little higher, just like even a little, they don't like you. They can't handle it. You can't even, and it's like battles, within battles. Like every comment, you got to bob and weave. And I'm around, a bunch of low insecurity people all day long because, the school I teach at is a Title I school. So a little background about Title I schools. Title I schools are usually failing schools, low income, impoverished neighborhoods. And the teachers that usually teach there I'm not going to say, yeah, they usually have low self-esteem. And the reason why is because they always have this notion of like, I feel needed, because they're so low in their own lives. They don't feel wanted. They're not in really good relationships or all that stuff. They feel wanted. I don't need to feel anything, and that's one thing. It's so funny about the kids is that they know that the kids know that about that dynamic with the teachers, and they kind of rub it in the teachers' faces too. And it's like, but with me, I don't have that dynamic. I've never, ever, one thing I've never done in my life is look towards another person as like competition I've never recognized another person, and that's not narcissism. That's not confidence or anything. That's just like, why you're another being. The first thing I see if I see another person is I see, oh, they had to go through XXXX to be there. They're just like another person like me. So I don't ever put another person on a pedestal. You know what I mean? You've gone through, your flaws and your battles just like I have. So other people, they see another person and they instantly figure out, oh, are they thinking they're better than me? I've never done that. No, we're never going to do that. But what the problem with that is when you don't do that, right? Like I don't do that with other people. So they notice that I'm not playing in that game, right? Because everything's at a game at a certain level, right? Like, they know that I'm not participating in that, and then it's like, oh yeah, I get digs all the time, like digs nonstop of, oh yeah, he seems, and it's just all because they want me to participate in that low level game, and I won't. And it's so funny because I projected fear, and I'm projecting fear in this fast because we all know that food is emotional eating, right? Like you really can go vegetarian and then vegetarian. There's plenty of people that have gone like liquidarian for years at a time. And it's like, but to get to that level, right? At that level, what you truly like. At that level, you have to be like, what I noticed, I just got out of a relationship, right? And I noticed that I slowly was like, because I wasn't able to get her on this board, this train of thought. And I knew it was like, there was no way to get somebody, because at a certain point, right, to get to the level that I had to get to, right, I had to give up a lot. And what I had to give up a lot was I had to give up on like this enlightenment and path and things like that to get to where I wanted, or thought I wanted to be, to fit in with society, to prove something, right? And that's the problem. I always wanted to prove, like I always knew I was smart, right? I always knew I could succeed in this materialistic, egotistical world. And then I was like, okay, let me prove it to myself. I knew I could. And then I was like, you go back to my older videos and I don't have any, and I have nothing. And then now it's like, oh, I got the car and I got the 2 jobs, I got the girl. And then it's like, oh, now I entered this world and I don't want it. You know what I mean? I don't, how about this? I could have it, but I don't want to. I don't stand for everything and the little games and the thoughts that you need to have to stay in the game. I don't have that. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I got out of my last relationship, because it's like, I thought maybe I could get her to play in, my side. And it's like, hey, let's just go. Like if I could get her to be like, yo, let's fast for 30 days, and then just like ascend, and get out of here, like get out of that matrix level thinking, then we could but I knew I would never be able to. And it was like, there was no way to explain the feeling of going on a long fast to somebody who's never done it. And that's partly my fault. I should have never gotten in a relationship with somebody who's, not able to do that. So, I don't feel bad, it's just, love lost, not time wasted at all. But but this is what I mean. Like when you get to like even when you get 7, 8 days, 10 days in, you get to a state like this, like where you just can speak plainly, bluntly, like, and that's the problem though. And that's why I said the title of the video is Projecting Fear, because I'm like, I originally want to do a 120-day fast, and I'm going to do a 120-day fast. I'm probably going to start maybe Wednesday, Tuesday, something like that. Tuesday probably, no, probably Wednesday, this Wednesday coming up, starting like a 120-day liquid fast. And and I'm just saying 120. I might just go longer. You never know. But the problem with that is then the lighter frequency I have, right? Which means the less thoughts are in my mind, and I'm not projecting anything, and I'm just able to stay fully hyper present. I'm not going to be able to communicate. I'm not going to be able to even be able to talk to people. And it's something I talk to, you guys have been watching my lives. If you haven't seen, I've been going live with Taylor Durden. If you don't, subscribe to his channel, literally just Taylor Durden. One thing we talked about was just like, man, when you get to that level, you can't even talk, because, if somebody tells you a problem, when you get so less density, right? Light. That's why Satan's called light bearer. Satan was called the light bearer. Everything is light. This is just all light. It's just less dense forms of light. So when you're eating food, it's just light. You know what I mean? Breath, spirit, it's all light. You know what I mean? So it's just when you get to that highest form, or in a sense, lowest form of density, you're not going to be able to talk to anybody. When somebody comes up to you and says, yeah, man, I got problems with my girl, or I got problems with my job, or I got problems with this, you're just like, all right, man, what, do you even want that? Then no, then just leave it. But then that's not in their reality, right? Like, that's not in my reality. That's not in their reality. Because when you're in low level, you have to, I have to stay it because I have to align with things that don't align with me. And that's the problem. Like, I think teaching does align with me. I do think that. It's actually funny. I was looking at my natal chart and stuff like that, and I saw that, like, I have, like, Sagittarius and, like, my North Node, and it even said, like, education and travel is, like, your main things. And I was like, I'm in education and I love to travel. Obviously, you guys know I've been to Japan and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, it's spot on. So, I mean, I think I do want to stay in there. But I think what the problem is, like, that connection, that being able to speak, oh, man, it's going to be so difficult. And I was projecting fear, right? Just being able to be social. And it's like, not going to be able to do that. And not going to be able to hold a relationship. And I'm not going to be able to hold... like the things, the materials. It's like, do I truly want that? You know what I mean? When I take a deep breath, like I said all the time, people don't take a full breath in a day. And, sometimes you struggle to think of things because when the thoughts are not even yours. You know what I mean? The thoughts aren't even yours. You're eating food, and that food is giving you the thoughts. It really is that deep. Like, when you really think about it, because the longer you get in a fast, the less thoughts you have. Mind's clear. Mind's empty. You can't even think. But if somebody were to say something, then it would spark something. But you trying to create on your own, it takes a little bit. You got to really tap in, and then when you feel that urge to do something, then you will. So, yeah, I think that's like it for the video. I just wanted to mention, projecting fear. I'm on a 7-day fast. I'm about to break it today, and probably be annoyed about it or be happy about it, and then just figure out a game plan to reapproach, and then just kind of want to play with it and see how I feel, and yeah, go from there. But yeah, I haven't talked to you guys in a while, and life is a trip. Life is a trip, because it's like it's all about fighting against your path, I guess, at the end of the day, right? What you want to do. But I think it's easier if you get in tune with how you're really feeling, because I feel like you never know how you're really feeling, because then when you're eating all the time, right, when you're eating all the time, and that was a problem too, like, you're just eating all the time, and then you're around people's energies all the time, and if you're like me, you're very susceptible to people's energies and their thoughts, so you don't even know whose thoughts are whose. You don't even know whose thoughts are whose at some point. And then then you got a backlog of other people's thoughts, other people's manifestations of you, other people's versions of you that they're looking forward to seeing. Like, Brandon, we're going to see your XX. And it's like, what if I'm not? And then that also projects the fear of, like, I'm not going to be that version of me for them anymore. Right? Because now I'm just going to be straight blank state, not blank state, but fully present, hyper present state that's not putting on and that's not entertainment anymore. And that's something I feel like, one thing I'm getting over in my life is just, I felt like I'm always entertainment for people, and I'm not entertainment. And I think that's partly my fault, because, I come off as entertainment. You know what I mean? All right. I think that's it. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Probably late in the fast. So probably in like 2 months. I'll give you like a 2-month update. All right. Later.